Ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the Rise of Champions cage, please welcome Fabian Sanchez.
He is a young man who is coming to make his debut tonight with a lot of height behind him, fast hands, strong kicks, and of course, good mobility. This tells you a lot about what we can expect, not only in a debutante fighter, but a guy who can stand and bang.
Yeah, expect somebody who's going to use his range. He's going to set up those head kicks to knock you out, Chris. He's got good footwork on the outside, and he works his way into the clinch and likes the takedowns with the outside trips.
So Sanchez told us tonight that he felt more confident than ever. Look at that, the smile, that tells you everything, Dean. He's enjoying this moment. He's soaking up the limelight. And really, what better stage than Brad Pickett's Rise of Champions on UFC Fight Pass.
It's his time to shine, and he's coming here, Chris, to shine like a star. He's going to work the boxing with the uppercuts, the shovel uppercuts, and look to place that right hand over the top. And again, with the footwork on the outside, he's just great at really determining where he is in space and indeed where he is in that cage.
And I think you'll know that his opponent tonight has focused on his ground game. I think there's really no secret here when you get a guy coming in like Sanchez, and of course his opponent, they know what the game plan will be. I think that could make this a very intriguing contest.
And now, making his way into the cage, his opponent, ELEK JANOS.
ELEK JANOS, Titan fighter, that says it all. And the roar from the crowd behind us in the bleachers, I think really puts an exclamation mark about what this young man wants to do tonight here in London.
His desire for winning is unparalleled, Chris. I've never seen anything like it. And he implements that in his stand-up fighter expertise. But, I mean, he does like to plant his feet and draw that power up for the knockout shot.
The talk has been, though, that he is focused on his ground game because he knows the vulnerabilities of Sanchez. So I think it could be a case where he may use his striking to set up the wrestling. That's an art and guise in itself in MMA, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's training with an excellent team, and almost certainly they're going to mix up the takedowns with the striking and serve to take your opponent down and stay on top, maintain pressure, and do damage.
So here he is, the undefeated 1-0 fighter. ELEK JANOS is in the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Brentwood Center, Brentwood, Essex, England, Rise of Champions number 4 presents three-minute rounds of amateur MMA in the featherweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, he stands 6 feet tall and weighing officially at 64.5 kilograms. Making his amateur debut this evening, representing Stronger MMA from Wimbledon, London, by way of Madrid, Spain. He is Fabian Loco Sanchez. And his opponent in the red corner, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing officially at 64.7 kilograms with a single win, no defeat, representing Team Titan from Ilford, England, by way of St. George, Transylvania, Romania, ELEK JANOS. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Daniel Mulvahedi.
Another big international matchup here at Rise of Champions. Representing Spain, Fabian Sanchez, ELEK JANOS. And it's straight in for the takedown, Dean.
Yeah, Sanchez went upstairs like we thought with the right hand, and Janos went straight for the takedown, got the outside trip. He needs to find himself defending this guillotine attempt here from Sanchez.
Sanchez doing very well there to try and work some magic with that head and arm control, that front headlock position. Wow, this was one that we suspected would be a case where Janos would want to implement those newfound skills and development areas. No surprises there.
Yeah, and we see him swinging for the bleachers, power shots to enable him to get the clinch. But I mean, Sanchez almost certainly done his homework, and he's working some great angles. Oh, nice takedown there from Janos.
Sanchez forced to concede guard here. It looked for a moment like he was going to be able to try to work him another way, but Sanchez is an operator here. He's going for that triangle choke, omoplata attempt. Janos sitting back here looking for that figure 4 leg lock.
Yeah, Sanchez has got to strip the grips. He's got to strip the legs away and find his leg out of that position, either kick it out or the sprinter escape. He finds himself now on the bottom in half guard.
They thought about catching that sweep there off the Ashigarami. Wild exchange between Janos and Sanchez.
And this was what was promised, Chris. Janos on top, dominating, using strikes to open up positions for him to advance into.
So ELEK Janos and Fabian Sanchez, after an early tussle, it seems like Janos a little bit more dominant in the clinch, gets him down now twice.
Yeah, Janos did a great job of stapling the right leg of Sanchez to enable that pass, Chris. And he's working the side control here, keeping nice and heavy. He's got to make sure that he controls the head and keeps the weight down.
Now talk us through that, Dean, that sort of knee slice pass that we saw there. You mentioned stapling the leg. It's a great way to get to mount.
Yeah, as you would pass the guard of your opponent here, we're seeing Janos in the top position, but to pass the guard, he staples the leg almost like you'd staple a piece of paper to a drawing board, staple the leg and then pass over it so they don't grab the half guard and work back to full guard. But we're seeing now Janos walking up to high mount, Chris.
Yeah, that was a very smart tactic, wasn't it, Dean? Get mount, get early to the position, of course, then slide high. Really difficult to escape, but Sanchez is going for it here. Oh, and he gets it. Goes for that sort of reverse donkey guard. And then thinking about a leg lock, but a great scramble from Janos.
That's a real tricky escape there. Often if you swim on in to the legs and stay on mount, that helps you. But, I mean, just the attributes, the physical attributes of Sanchez, really long legs. He was able to hook round and pull Janos off of him. And now he finds himself again in a position underneath. But Janos looking to establish the mount again, Chris, and firing down these punches.
In come the punches, the end of the first round. So, Dean, if we take a look back at some of that action, it was interesting to watch a couple of early exchanges, straight in for the takedown then from Janos. He got it there in the end, and the second time was the charm.
Yeah, he set it up with those big power hooks to make Sanchez cover up upstairs, duck down, look for the takedown, and really maintained the top pressure, Chris, and advanced to mount beautifully.
Round 2 of 3, Daniel Movahidi in charge, and Janos and Sanchez are itching to go at it again, Dean.
Let's see if Sanchez now can maintain the distance and utilize that footwork that he's known for. You can see there he's backing out, he's circling off. What he's got to do is not enable Janos to get underneath his hips and implement a takedown.
So Janos very patient there. Right hand high, lead hand low. Lazy single kick, but a nice left. He's very unorthodox the way he moves, Dean, but against sort of a more traditional stance from Sanchez, it seems to work.
His method. Oh, Chris!
Oh my goodness, a huge connection here as ELEK Janos looks to try and floor his opponent and finish this fight.
And that was what we were talking about. The way he just loads up power from the ground and delivers it to your chin enabled him to not even get the takedown, but he's still on top now. Janos looking to pass the guard. Chris is going to do that with strikes and land in side control.
I cannot believe the speed, power, and athleticism of Janos. That was a blitz if I've ever seen one, Dean.
Yeah, he set that up with a fake. He faked the shot earlier on, probably about 30 seconds before that. So he's making Sanchez think downstairs, then he came up upstairs with that big left hook.
And what a golden opportunity here, sitting in side control and going to work here, maybe to try to isolate that arm.
Janos now on top, looking to sneak that right knee across the belly of Sanchez, but Sanchez using the right arm to block that.
Great control here from Janos. It's very strategic and, if you will, using a strong method, a blueprint, if you will, for grappling. It's an art in itself, isn't it? You connect with a guy, you drop him, the adrenaline is pumping. You've got to exhibit the sort of game planning and control and the discipline to make sure you don't become over anxious. And I think that Janos has done very well here to dominate.
That's one of the avenues in MMA. If you're just good at grappling, you've got that innate ability to control somebody on the floor and implement strikes. It's just something to be felt almost like a fish out of water. And we can see Sanchez now on the bottom, and he's holding on to the body of Janos. He really wants this stand-up, Chris.
But the methodology of Janos and his control has been exceptional.
Janos looking like he's trying to scoop one of his knees across the arms, almost like a mounted crucifix position. Could be setting up the Kimura. But again, we'll see him staple the leg. He's going to try and get his right leg out of the clasp of Sanchez and keep the pressure heavy through his left shoulder.
Excellent pressure here from ELEK JANOS. Sanchez certainly uncomfortable there under that cross-face pressure. Not much time on the clock, though, here in the dying seconds of the round.
Yeah, Janos did a great job there. I was looking for the Von Flu choke there, but maybe he heard the 10-second clapper, and he was just very dominant from the top, Chris. Kept his weight down. He had exceptional base in that position. Even when he was trying to pass, he was in no danger of getting swept.
So the Titan crew going to work there in the corner. ELEK JANOS looks about as fresh as ever. I cannot say the same, though, for his opponent in Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez working from the bottom. And that's kind of the invisible kind of debt that you have to pay when somebody's on top of you in an MMA fight. You're having to escape. You're using all your being to not get submitted, not get struck, and to effectively switch your position around. When the person on top, which was Janos in this exchange, keeps his weight nice and heavy, uses father gravity to further make Sanchez tired.
So another round, 3 minutes on the clock here. Amateur rules, and this will be the final 180 seconds of opportunity, in my opinion, here at ringside for Sanchez to stop this fight.
Yeah, Sanchez needs to do something decisive. He needs to land that power shot, that power kick. He's got to be careful about committing too much to any strikes, because we know that Janos is going to close the distance and look for the clinch.
And a huge connection there from Janos. That left hook lands flush, and it is over in London town.
Janos again delivering the same left hook that put Sanchez down in the previous round, looking for the top control, but the referee saw enough, Chris.
That hit like thunder and lightning, Dean, the way he came in there, and that left hook connected flush. Blink and you'll miss it.
Janos, as promised, and as we spoke about in the walkouts, he plants his feet and delivers the power. He's not just a grappler. He's not just a top position guy. He is looking to land that decisive punch to knock you out, Chris.
And the undefeated run continues as ELEK JANOS gets another win tonight at Rise of Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee called a stoppage to this bout at 27 seconds of the third round. To your winner by TKO with strikes in the red corner, ELEK JANOS.
It happens.